Welcome to The Buzz, where we bring you leaders in dental education discussing hot topic courses and industry trends. I'm your host, Vanessa Emerson, founder of Dental Speakers Bureau, and today we're speaking with Leslie Canham. Thanks so much for being here, Leslie.
My pleasure.
Leslie has worked in dentistry since 1972 and has worn multiple hats working in the dental office. And she now speaks and consults in the areas of OSHA, infection control, and HIPAA. Leslie also has earned the Certified Speaking Professional designation, which is given out by the National Speakers Association. It's actually very rigorous criteria to earn your CSP, and very few dental speakers have achieved this honor. In fact, worldwide, I think it's only 10% or slightly less than 10% of all professional speakers have earned the CSP. So as we talk with Leslie here today, you'll likely see why Leslie is such a sought-after speaker and how it would make sense that she would be at that level as the certified speaking professional. So thanks again for being here, Leslie. Now today, what I'd love for you to share with the event planner who's listening in, tell us a little bit about your different programs. I know you have multiple to choose from, so help guide us. How do we make our selection? Where are they each a best fit?
Well, OSHA seems to be something that every dental practice needs to have. So that's one of my most popular programs. HIPAA compliance, again, it's another regulatory area of a need for training. So many times meeting planners will bring me in for OSHA in the morning and then HIPAA in the afternoon. I also speak on infection control, various different levels of infection control. There's not just only how to make infection control sticky, which is one of my most interesting and engaging infection control courses, but there's also courses on how to be the infection control coordinator or how to engage your team to meet the CDC guidelines for infection control. I speak on HIPAA, what's new and what do I have to do? And there's always something new that comes our way when it comes to the cyber world and how we protect patients' data. I present programs on the Dental Practice Act for California licensees, and I have a very special course on accommodating special needs patients. I speak to audiences on how they can accommodate deaf and hard of hearing or patients with disabilities, including patients who might come to the practice with a service dog. In fact, I have a service dog. I'm a hearing impaired speaker, and my service dog travels with me frequently across the country. He acts as my alarm clock, so he wakes me up on time, and he also has a very special way of connecting with my audience in that he will go to get questions from my audience on 3x5 cards that they can put right into a little hat in the center of the meeting room. And he runs them up to me on the podium, and he actually brings me those questions much faster than the meeting room host would. So I'm always happy to have Mocha, and I'm always happy to have the questions, and my audience members are thrilled when he's in part of the program. In fact, meeting planners often ask me, what programs do I present that include bringing Mocha?
Oh, well, he is somewhat of a celebrity, and he's just delightful. And I love the little videos you do with Mocha talking, by the way, on Facebook. So he's pretty awesome. So that is a wide range of programs, but yet many of them fall under this umbrella of regulatory compliance or required courses for the practice. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you teach your courses? Is there anything that's different or unique around the way you present or your experience?
Well, first of all, in the way I present, I keep my audience members' attention by engaging them in stories and making the information memorable and repeatable for them. I have training games that I like to implement when time allows, and I give them checklists that they can use to take back to their practice and immediately start in with the steps to bring their practices into compliance. And I also, as far as my experience goes, I consult on a one-on-one with dental practices, or I'm oftentimes asked to investigate breaches in infection control by either city or state governments and agencies, and even corporations who have infection control breaches will call me in to see if it's an isolated incident or whether it's a system-wide occurrence. And as I'm in these dental settings, I'm seeing more things that are helping to provide information to attendees on what kind of obstacles they might face in their offices. So my finger is on the pulse of what's actually happening in dental offices, as opposed to speaking from a textbook and just citing regulations. I'm giving them real life circumstances and real life solutions to those various conundrums they might come across.
So let me just recap on that. So we have, the last thing was you're in the trenches. You actually work with offices. You're able to see current happenings. You're really able to stay up to date with challenges that dental teams face now, because you're live working with them on an ongoing basis. You have checklists or other types of systems that you can put in place during your courses to be able to help them put that back into action when they get back to the office. And the experience of the course, I heard you say, was interactive. You have exercises that you can do with them to be able to get them up and moving and touching and working with the material. Did I get that right?
Absolutely right.
Well, that sounds like a great way to take topics that can feel heavy or hard to understand and be able to really make it easier for dental teams across the board to be able to work with. Now, is there anything that we haven't chatted about that would be important for the meeting planner to know before we sign off?
Well, I'm an easy speaker to work with, and my objective is to fit your program. So it doesn't matter on how much time you have allotted for me, or whether there's going to be time that's taken up inadvertently. I can make my presentation fit to your needs and to meet the requirements for your audience.
I know from the years I've worked with event planners that is a big one. So that's great. I know another big challenge is getting materials turned in on time. We're not here to talk about meeting planner challenges, but I know that one is definitely to be, as a speaker, to be easy to work with and to be able to be flexible and to be able to help the planner be able to create the most effective meeting and help them meet their goals. So congratulations on that. And any parting words before we sign off, Leslie?
Well, regulations are complex and confusing, and I hope to leave my audiences with a feeling of hopefulness and hope to simplify things so that they can go back to their practices and, again, immediately implement an action plan. When they leave my course, I hope that they feel that they have spent their time well with me. And of course, I want the meeting planners to feel like they've provided a good program, and I want them to look good. So I'm going to do my very best to make that happen.
I believe it. Well, thank you so much, Leslie, for being here with us today. And thank you to the viewer for watching our episode of The Buzz. If you're interested in bringing Leslie to speak for your organization, please visit dentalspeakersbureau.com, where you'll find Leslie's listing and short episodes as well for each of her course areas, where you can learn a little bit more information. We'd be happy to connect you with Leslie, so please just reach out to us. And until our next episode, be well, and thanks again for tuning in.